write about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist. Am I worth anything or just discount? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
That was the great sounds of Joata with Outside on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, EZ BlueZ is in the building. EZ BlueZ, you are much, much, much better with introductions more than me. Who do we have with us again for the third time, three-peat guest on the program?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump in the Wayback Machine. We're going to go way back, all right? And we're going to understand. I believe the first time was in a quaint little establishment called Anna Liffey's. I saw this person sitting across the bar with the most fantastical hair you'd ever seen before. There, sitting with a Frederick Anthony, he was ordering and enjoying. Then, fast forward to sitting upon the ways of the sheets of three. And then in the audience sits the same fine hair and the same fine man. Fast forward even further. We're putting together the Unified Noise Festival. Who was one of the first people we contact to play, even though he no longer lived in Connecticut. It was this man. After that, we've seen him grow. He's been on this show. He's been a friend. He's slept on a couch. He's moved where it's necessary and has introduced us to some of the most incredible people in the history of forever. And then there was that one time at Toad's place where we thought we were getting a cheeseburger and it was really 3 nips and a high five. Put your hands together for the fantastic, the amazing, the awesome, and just a brother from another mother. Joata is in the building.
What up? Glad to be back.
It's always good to have you, man. And this is one of the other good things for those that are sitting and watching this. You're actually rocking the earring, which is all part of the I always say work the gimmick, live the gimmick, and you've always been a forefront of that. And I just wanted to give you your flowers for that as well.
I always think I'm like, if I can't sell merchandise if I can't wear it myself.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
I'm laughing about the nip story because what you didn't say it was my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess a couple of weeks ago would have been like the 3rd or 4th anniversary year of that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're probably right. Because it was before you'd moved.
And I had moved. No, I had moved to LA. Yeah. PNB Rock, rest in peace, played that show.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wild.
Yeah, that was such an interesting night sitting outside the Toad's place.
I feel like that night got more interesting as it continued, but that's for another version.
But that's for another version of the show.
Yeah.
But that's one of the most incredible things is actually you were one of the first people that coming out here, me coming out here, really showed me the backstage life of what it's like. Usually I'd walk in and I'd be very timid and I'd pay the cover and you're you walk in, you're just like, do you know who I am? Do you understand where I come from? And it's a hey, look at me. Has that always been for you, or is that just something that you had to work towards?
What's interesting is and nobody ever believes me when I say this, but I'm pretty shy here. I'm more of an introvert than I think I just play an extrovert in life.
Right.
But I do feel, when that meme when it's you have the someone sitting in the corner of a room and it's everybody doesn't know, but I'm actually thinking about my Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something like that, something random. I'm that guy, even I found it very hard always to start a conversation. I'm lucky because my hair kind of is like a built-in icebreaker. So people will approach me more often but I also have learned that you have to put yourself out there, because if you don't say hi, then you're gonna think about it later, oh, I should have said hi. So my shyness kind of me missing out on an opportunity to me being shy, I'm we gotta meet in the middle somewhere. So I think that, I always say that the better to just talk to people, just ask somebody like what their name is. And the way that I think of it in my head, I'm like, all right, I just got to let this other human being know that I see them and I know that they exist, and then they can say it back to me. And then it's all like, then it's easy. Like, hey, we're on the same level playing field. We're here together on this dimension or planet or whatever. And it's also like a respect thing, it's like, hey, I noticed you. Like, I think people just want to be noticed, and if you acknowledge that and respect that, you'll usually, even if you get a bad reaction, you'll get a reaction either way. And so
and really, there is
True.
no such thing as a bad reaction as long as you're walking away with all your teeth. A reaction is a reaction is a reaction. But this is really interesting because you have a lot of cool things coming up. I know the last time you were on the show, you were talking about recording the beanie in France.
Oh wow,
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
now you've got more new music coming out. You've actually teamed up. You've got this incredible new merch line stuff that you got going through, especially with those limited edition pins and different things like that. So let's let the audience know. And the other thing is, hold on, let's be real. Aren't you on right now?
I'm about to be. I'm like 48 hours away from being on tour.
There you go.
I moved to LA. It's funny because I always have like a fight, hate love relationship with it going back to the East Coast. It's a lot of
Right.
there's a lot that goes into just going back and forth. It's 3,000 miles. You know what I mean? But I guess I'm stubborn in the sense that I'm like, I always want to come home. I have to come home. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So with this new tour, so when I got out here, I started doing open mics because I'm like, I got to get my name out there. I got to let people know that I exist. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, when I moved to New York from Connecticut, I still had like the Connecticut, Connecticut's not that far from New York. So it's like,
Right.
I still had some connections back and forth here. And nobody knew who I was. So I started going to this open mic called Something Dope.
Okay.
And then there was there was another one called Members Only. And I'd go to all of them. People always like, they enjoyed my performances, but and I was there for the performances, but I was there to like network, and try to meet other musicians that have the same mentality. And then I went to the Members Only open mic, and I saw this guy in a luchador mask with like a belt over his shoulder. And when I was a kid, I loved, like, Shawn Michaels was like that was like my favorite. Like, to this day, I always think,
he's the all-time GOAT.
Yeah. To this day, I always say, like, when I get big and I play in an arena, I want to do like how he came down from like the top. You know what I mean? Like,
with the zip line.
That's when I do that. Yeah. When
Yeah.
you see that, I'm up there and I'm like, I did it. You know what I mean? So I went up to him and he performed, and it was funny because he was like, he's like, yeah, you came up to me. You were like, hi, my name's Jose. He's like, you were so friendly. I thought you were weird. And I'm like, I am friendly, I guess. But then we hit it off, and then I liked his work ethic. I love his music, but I'm a big like champion for work ethic and just and taking the risks that are necessary to, I mean not necessary, but that are like exciting to push your music forward. So I hit him up and I'm like, dude, let's do a wrestling song, and let's
Awesome.
he's never been to the East Coast. I think he's been on one plane.
That's crazy.
Or maybe not. So on top of all the music and everything like that, it's also like, it feels cool. He's shown me around LA and California, and now I get to show him the other coast. Right. And it all came from music,
No, that's fantastic. And
it is.
It's always great to see when friends get to pair up, and you get to meet the new people that come through. Like, we've seen it a lot through this show with someone that you had introduced us to, with Chesky. Because of the one time you had me go out to lunch. Chesky's been on the show twice. We've had Miles Boland on the show. We've had Justin Arena on the show. Folk Punk Dad have been on the show. So all these people from that multiverse, wound up coming through. And it's, again, just by meeting and being a good human being. Like, you gotta be a good human being.
I mean, I've noticed as I've gotten older, I've become a better human being. I wasn't always, I wasn't always. I look back at certain
We're not all
moments,
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So when everybody's like, "Oh, you're friendly," I'm like, I wasn't always friendly. You know what I mean? Like, But
sometimes you got to grow into being a good person too.
It's true.
exactly, like if I was, if think of that with music too, I'm always like, I just turned 36, and I think a lot about it. I'm like, oh, what if I was famous already, or what, but those questions, like, they've kind of like what is fame? What do I think fame is at this point in my life? And
Right.
I'm kind of grateful because I know that 25-year-old me compared to 36-year-old me, I'm more likely to get in less trouble now
Right.
than you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Oh, I say it all the time. If I would have got famous at a young age, I would not be here right now.
I would almost
Younger
agree. Yeah.
me, yeah, younger me would have done some things that, I'm sure the annals of rock and roll would be talking about for a long, long time. But I wasn't so well balanced back then.
I'm
I
glad that
like,
I'm not part of the 27 club.
yeah, which is really interesting too, because it's so strange. Like with myself as an artist, I actually used to beat myself up because I wasn't, because I looked at it as that was true greatness. True greatness was, letting your art fade away at 27. There's so many cool things that are being said at 37 and at 40 and at 42, experiences that you would never you can't accomplish at a younger age, that need to be told and need to be put into different forms of art. So, I love it. Really seems after COVID, there's been like this new rebirth of anyone and everyone is out there pushing and creating now. You're a big influence for that, because you're one of those people who go up on TikTok and you put up open verse challenges, and you're always sitting there and going to the open mics and talking to people and sticking and moving in those type of directions. What gave you that type of mentality? Because some people might say that music scenes can become very closed-minded, and sometimes they get very political. You try to stay away from that, and I want to give you your flowers for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, I'm just too stubborn to listen to anybody else. Like I want to make my own rules, as everybody
Right.
does. So for me, I don't know. Like I think music is for everybody, no matter what. You know what I mean? And it should always remain like that. Every art is for, if you don't like it, it's okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's. And for me, I just not necessarily do it my way, but I just think that, like, and I never think like I'm right, or I'm the way, or I know the way, or it's just about, like, I don't want to. I want to do, even if I fail, I want to be like, I tried it
Right.
the way that I wanted to do it, not like, not no formula, which formulas work, but I got tired. I'm still I don't want to have a day job. I want to wake up and be like, all right, we're going to the studio. I'm gonna go do a commercial. You know what I mean? Like, that's the
Right.
day I want to have. Even if it's busy, I go skate. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
just the I want to be in the studio all day. And so
Right.
I'm getting older, so the double life of, like, working, I'm not, a regular job and then going to do music. It's getting it's so I just keep pushing harder because I don't want to do anything else. I, you know,
Feel that.
I always say, don't give yourself the option to not do it.
Right. No,
Easier said than
definitely.
done.
No,
True. So true. So true.
it definitely is, because it's the opposite of what what we hear as being creatives growing up and doing the whole thing. And it's trauma out of love, but your family does trauma, has the potential to traumatize you, as per, you need to find a better way to go about this. You need to go and do this. Doing it because they love you and they want to see you as financially secure as possible and successful in their eyes. Not understanding that success could mean something completely different to you, or like I remember, and we talk about it on stage all the time. The 12-year-old version of me actually accomplished his dreams because he just wanted to get out and play and be friends with cool musicians and live a musician's lifestyle. So I've already accomplished all my dreams.
Mm.
Everything else from this point in time is just icing on the cake. That being said, I also haven't played Madison Square Garden yet. and I'd like to.
There's room.
You know.
I mean, I always say coming from like a Latino household, I
Right.
had to have this talk with my family. It's like, Jose, when, girlfriend, are you gonna get married? Are you gonna have kids? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm living by the beach and you leave me alone. Like I'm chilling. But mostly I just had to have a conversation, especially with my stepdad, and I love him, for this. And it's like, hey, stop asking me about like where's my car? Where's this? Like, ask me if I'm happy. That's all I want you to ask me. Ask me
Okay,
if
I
I'm
like
happy.
that. I like that a lot.
Because it's like that's more important to me. That shows me than a material thing. You know what I mean? I could have a car and be miserable, but if you ask me if I'm happy, I'll respond. I'll take that. Like that'll warm me up, and I'll be like, "Hey, yeah, I'm kind of happy." Or if I'm not happy, I'll tell you why. But if you're asking me about marriage and stuff like that,
Yeah,
I don't see that as like the equation for marriage. I mean, for happiness.
I agree. Because most people who I know who have been married are not on the happiest of terms.
No.
I mean, watching
most, not
and
all,
so
not all.
all I use Facebook for is when you see the feed and you see like divorce, or what I mean? And I'm just like,
Complicated. It's working.
yeah,
There's
and I'm like,
different statuses now. It's crazy.
exactly, yeah, and I'm just like,
It's growing too, which is sad.
and I'm just like, like, and for each
Yeah.
his own, like,
Yeah,
there's no
absolutely.
right way.
Absolutely.
But for me, I'm like, and I get lost in it sometimes in the sense of I'm like, where the hell, where the heck am I going? But then I'm like, I just bought for the first time in 35 years, I own a car. You know what I mean? I've never owned a car my whole life. And I love that thing because I have a little PA behind it now. And
Nice.
I can play a show wherever. And I see it as a vessel or a tool for my art instead of like, oh, I have to have a car because society says that I need to have a car.
Right.
I can't be taking the bus and riding my skateboard everywhere. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, I did that for almost 5 years. You know what I mean? I'm all right. You know what I mean? So I have a car now because I want to play shows in other places, not because I need to, I quote unquote need to.
Yeah. You have it where it's actually an aid to your art, not a necessity, of life. So I love that. I love that. And what's it like having the car though? This is brand new for you.
It's the best, dude. I got a little Subaru, a little 2024 Subaru Crosstech.
Oh, 2024. Okay.
Yeah, I went all in. Music.
No, I ain't mad at you. Go ahead.
Music doing all right. No. It's freedom, to be honest. That's all it is. It's freedom and time. Because it's like, I love the bus, but it takes me an hour to get to work. Now it takes me 8 minutes to get to work.
That's
and
beautiful.
So mentally, like I'm not stressed out about I gotta go catch the bus. I gotta make it to the, I missed the bus. Now I gotta wait 40 minutes. It's just not efficient. And I'm, not the car to me just means efficiency. And I can sing as loud as I want, practice any song I want, and nobody's gonna care.
Yeah, no judgment zone.
I was like, oh my God, I never need this freedom. You know what I mean? Like I can just can hit every single note wrong and not be like, am I annoying my roommate or am I annoying my neighbors? You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, probably someone's filming me and I look crazy, but it's all good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But
now, what do the people on tour have to look forward to with this leg of the tour now? And how has the show evolved?
It's cool because I've noticed dropping things. I can't rap in English. I'm not even gonna try because so the new song I tried so hard and I just sound so whack. like I'm just
even in translation.
Yeah, in English,
wow.
But if I rap in Spanish,
that's crazy.
You know what I mean? There's a swag in me that comes out in the Spanish, kind of like
the delivery. I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
And I just feel like everything I write in English, rap wise or hip hop wise, is so corny. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's like I just got a rhyming dictionary and just let's put this, But there's something in Spanish that brings something out of me that I don't feel that insecurity. You know what I mean? Of oh my God, this is just what I sound like. I got something to say. So I'm excited for us to do the song because I don't really have any duo songs. I mean, Chesky and I have a song, and a few other people have a song, but it's not like a duo. It's like a I don't sing the chorus. We sing the chorus at the same time. It's it's a vibe.
Nice.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Definitely.
Now, from this song, is there going to be like a further EP? You know, because look, I know you, and the pin means that this is something that you're going to be invested in further than just one song. I mean, let's be real. We haven't shown it to the audience yet, but you have a championship wrestling belt. Okay, so there is the next step. There is the next evolution, and I just want you to spill all the guts now.
Spill
You
all
wanna
the
see
guts
it?
on WNHH LP
Yeah, of course.
103.5 FM. And yes, I want to see the belt. Yes.
All right.
Please,
So
please
I
show
believe
me.
in like, not to get all California or whatever, but I believe in like manifesting things. I do believe like if you say it, like you'll hold yourself accountable to doing it. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of times I'll put stuff on Facebook that hasn't happened yet, because then I'm like, oh, now I gotta do it. You know what I mean? Now I gotta, I gotta play that show, I gotta play that city. So the belt is, so I'll show you the back of it. I mean, it's not the back, but it's the sides. It's heavy, 7 pounds. But you don't think 7 pounds is heavy until you have it around your waist, So it has, and I want to leave a little bit for Sin Alma to say too, but it has Sin Alma's logo on that side.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's cool.
Then my logo on this side.
That's really cool. Yeah.
And then it says, all right. It says luchadores. I don't know if it's Joata. Then you know it's gonna have a planet. Then it says Sin Alma, but most importantly, it says World Tour.
That's awesome.
Because I'm like, bro, let's put World Tour on it. So then anytime we go on tour together, the video is, we bring the belt back out. We're coming back out. You know what I mean? And it'd be lit to do a world tour. And it's like, I don't want to have to get a new belt when we go on the world tour.
Well, I got something even that now that you've shown it on the radio and different things like that, I got something for your social media. Every place you play that's new, have someone sign it.
I was gonna do that. You know what I want to do is get people get a patch. If someone brings me a patch from a show, put it inside in the inside of the belt.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Or just get a sponsorship from the company and tell them to make me hella belts.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I love all of that.
Can I get 30 of these belts? You come to my room and just stack the belts. But I love the belt because I had like a WCW belt when I was a kid, like the nice one. And I gotta remember, we got it. Me and my brother had to go in on joint Christmas presents to get this one belt.
Was it the heavyweight title or US?
Yeah,
the heavyweight,
the crazy old one that had room for engraving.
Oh wow, the gold crown. Okay.
Yeah, and then
awesome.
I never got to engrave it, because I was too young, I was like 11, So for me, having this, it's like a full circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like I go to work and I'm like, I kind of want to bring the belt with me. I'm like, yo, chill.
Just wear it out in public.
I mean, why? I feel like if I wear it, people are like, why do you have a belt on? Oh, I'm a musician. It's like a nice little icebreaker.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, oh, why are you wearing it? I don't know. I'm a champion, dude. Leave me alone.
Of course, man. Of course. Show it off. I would do it.
Oh, you'll see it all of tour. You'll see it all of tour.
There you go.
Oh man, I can't wait to see the footage. The footage is probably gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
But on Wednesday on March 13th, we're doing a listening party. And I'm excited for it because it's actually taking place right here in my apartment. And the actual listening part is going to be in my bedroom. My bedroom there's a picture on my Instagram at Hola Joata. I love purple. I think you guys, I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
So my room is very purple. And I thought only 10 people were going to come. Now there's 40 RSVP. So I'm kind of like, whoa. But we're going to I'm just playing this song first time in my room. And everybody's like, what are you doing in your room? I'm like, this is where I create music. I'm like, to me, it's special to think that people are gonna be sitting on the floor here on my bed. You know what I mean? I'm not very I'm not germophobic or I'm not anything I can deal with someone being in my space for a few hours, and I want to show people that hey, this is where it all happens. This is how it happens. And I want to share that with you because I always say, the people are as big of a part into the music as me as an artist. If there's nobody at my show, there's no reason for me to make music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, other people want to, if it's a hobby, sure. But for me, my energy does come from, having people sing along to a song. A lot of my songs are built that way to give that space, because now I don't have a band now. So I'm like, I don't want to be some dude on stage just looking at my toes. You know what I mean? That's why I like Shane Penguin so much, because I like how easy he comes out to the crowd. It's like, yo, let's
Yeah.
do this together. We're in this together.
Mhm.
Because like, let's have fun together. You know what I mean? If I want to
Right.
go to a bar and not like talk to anybody, then I'll just go to a bar that doesn't have live music. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. I've always said that, if you're gonna go somewhere for no community, then make sure you go somewhere that doesn't play live music. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, you have a spot that just has a jukebox, go live it up, because but don't go somewhere to not talk to someone, especially if live music is being played, because there should be that feeling of community, and it's gotten so much worse. I've got a wireless mic now. So there's nowhere to hide. I go out to the smokers corner. I go outside. I'm like, no, you guys all paid for the show.
Where do you got like 100 feet on that thing? 4 feet?
Yeah, it's 80 something feet.
That's
80
not bad.
feet.
That's not bad for wireless. It's
Damn.
not bad. Not bad at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
That's a good investment.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I had to make sure that it was a good investment. Like I said, I can go from all the way in the back of Cafe 9 to all the way in the front. I could probably jump behind the bar in 10 bar and sing at the same time,
That'd be sick, dude. Do
which
it.
is a goal of mine one of these days too. I'm serious. Because to me, it's all about the show, and it's all about, like, what's going to be fun for me to do, because if it's fun for me to do, then somebody will get the joke, and if not,
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, yeah. Like, if you're having fun on stage, people like will gravitate to that. It's
right,
magnetizing. You know what I mean? It's magnetic, is what I meant to say. One thing that I wanted to say, and what has been helping me that I started is I started acting school.
mhm,
Um,
That's dope.
and it's intense. But what I like about it is that you really have to be like in tune with your feelings, and like it feels like honestly like therapy, which I like
right,
think everybody should go to therapy. But it's insane. It's crazy to like dive in, but also I'm doing this thing called the Meisner technique, which is like I'm supposed to be focused on you. Like I react to
Mm-hmm.
like whatever you do. You know what I mean? So in
Mm.
a sense, you can't be self-conscious because I'm not focused on myself. I'm focused on you. And it's kind of like it's
Okay.
trippy because you're like because
Hmm.
your body you want to think I'm like what am I thinking about? How are people thinking of me? But the second you let that go, and it's helped me with my music, especially this song because when I was writing it, even when I was writing this in Spanish, I was just like, what am I talking about? What am I saying? What am I trying to say? And it's like at one point, or like, and I'm like, oh, you sound like this, or I kind of want to sound like this. Honestly, I listened to Jay-Z's "What More Can I Say" a lot for this one, and it
Yeah.
helped me, but it also like didn't help me because I'm like, oh, I'm trying to sound like Jay-Z too much. Jay-Z doesn't rap in Spanish, so and I'm like, just sound like Joata. That's all.
right,
That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I
Of
mean?
course. Yeah.
Like, just sound like, just be
Uh-huh.
deliver it the way you want to deliver it,
Yep.
and that's you. Then people can't be like, oh, you sound like Jay-Z, or you sound like Residente, or you sound like anybody else. You just sound like. And if they don't like it, I don't care. I like it. You know what I mean?
right,
I like
right,
it. It sounds like me, and I'm
Absolutely.
giving you as I get older and evolve as an artist. I'm becoming more and more comfortable with who I am, and this is what
Hmm.
I sound like. You know what I mean? This is my voice. This is all I got. So, and that's what I'm gonna give you. And if you don't like it, like I said, you can pass. And if you like it, let's go. You know what I mean? Let's sing together. Let's have some fun, and let's also talk about stuff that's not so much so fun. You know what I mean?
right.
All right.
Well, that's one of the key things, and obviously, it's so interesting that when this show got released, it was the beginning and the height of COVID. Everything had been locked down,
Yep.
and here we have you on, I think, the second or third episode,
Third.
and you bring in the third episode, and you bring us the single "Outside" that has now
Oh yeah,
become the identity of the show.
Yeah.
You know, what is it? What is I kind of want to ask you what it's like, but I don't not that type of aspect. Not what it's like, but how's it feel to understand, to know that your work of art is going on and moving into a different medium, and like becoming attached to another work of art, if I can
I
say that
mean, yeah,
myself.
it's great. I think that's why I like the acting because I feel like it's not just about music anymore. Like the music is like the first seed or the first like you know uh the first step. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to become not me in the sense I want to offer as much as I can offer, and I'm many more things than just a musician. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I want to experiment. You know, I like playing kickball. I like playing soccer. You know, I like skateboarding.
Right.
I like the music does define me, but it's not the ultimate. You know, one day I know I won't be able to sing anymore or tour anymore,
Mhm.
and I've come to terms to that. I'm like, all right, I can't do this. Let me go act, or let me go
Yeah.
skateboard, or let me go do something else, because a lot of before it was just I had too much focus on music and it drove me insane. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm like this on my music, and it's like people kind of see that, and then you have that weird desperation because you have nothing else to
Express yourself.
alleviate
Yeah.
or express, just
Mhm.
like, and it gets a little ugly, not ugly, but just like it gets like boring, or just it gets negative
Mhm.
in a learning way. But
Of course.
no, when every time I watch the episodes of the show, like I hear those first three notes, and I'm like, and it's like it warms me up. You know what I mean? I put my hand right here, and I'm
Yeah.
like, it shows me that you guys care about me, and that like you support me, and it's very important for me, because it's like this is your show, you know what I mean? Like this is what you guys do. So the fact that I can have a little tiny part of it that you guys feel makes the show even better is
Yeah.
like if I could blush, be blushing right now. But but you know what I mean? It puts
Right.
a smile on my face because you think, and maybe easy you can think of as, when you create a song, you don't know where it's gonna go. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like you're just like, oh, I got this to say, or I think this sounds cool, or I think this might connect with another person. So when you see how like the public uses your art, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
would have never thought that would be an intro to a show. You know what I mean? I was
Right.
just like, I'm talking about outer space. You know what I mean? Like, so it's cool. It's almost like an art form, seeing how other people use your art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%, and I love how you actually brought that up because it does. The minute you put that art out there, you're putting it out that it becomes owned by the audience, and the listener can do whatever they want for it. It can then become the theme to whatever. You could have written something about a potato, and it becomes the ultimate somebody's wedding song, because that's just how things happen sometimes. And when you deal with art and it being so subjective, it can be put and paired with anything. Um,
I mean, imagine you're at a supermarket and the potato song is playing, and that's when you happen to put like you grab a potato, and then another human being grabs the same potato, and that's how you
right.
meet. Then you have the potato song.
Well, see, I love how you transition directly into a story that you created for that because now that you're moving into the acting world and you're taking the acting classes, knowing you for who you are, knowing you the way that I do know you, when's the script coming? When are the
You know me
shorts
too
hitting?
well.
When are the shorts hitting YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Like, because yeah, like I said,
Well,
knowing you
he,
the way that I know you.
I hate to
So
barge in, but he kind of already does it. If you like look at his TikTok and Instagram, and like he always like gives you like a little life depiction of his story. One of my favorite things he has on TikTok, well, he's right in front of us on Zoom right now. It's Joata. It was the story you told about the cop in Hartford
oh yeah, yeah. That was
that
wild,
you had a
right?
little altercation with, and then like you narrated the whole story of how this I'll say it through my perception, this racist cop went in front of you was suspecting you doing a crime when you really didn't do anything wrong. You were just playing your instrument and people were just vibing to you. And I guess he felt some type of way because I guess he was untalented himself in some type of way. I don't know. I wasn't there. He
I
was
always
so
think
bad that you were getting some, pocket changes. Just
so. My
enjoying yourself.
dream,
Yeah.
that stoop is still there, and my dream
Hmm.
is I need to do a 50-50 grind on that little ledge, and then like
Yes.
it's full circle. I'm like, I got arrested here, and
Yeah.
now I'm skating here 20 years
Hmm.
later.
That's awesome.
But I've noticed I like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like music, like
Hmm.
I like telling stories, and I
Of
do think
course.
that some ridiculous things happen in my life all the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
But I feel like I also I'm open to them,
Hmm.
Right.
and not so reactionary, but I'm like adaptable. You know what I mean? Anytime
Of
something
course.
crazy happens, I'm like, all right, don't panic, and just we'll figure this out. You know what I mean? Like, But script, we're working on something.
All right.
I like horror movies, so that's all I'll say.
Nice.
On that
Nice.
end. Acting. What's funny is with my acting teacher, they're like, "Oh, what kind of like acting do you want to do?" And you know what I want to be? I want to be like I like creepy characters because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
there is a darkness in me that I like instead of like drinking it away or like putting it away, I'd like to use in like a character like I like if I could be like Pennywise from It. You know what I mean? And just channel that darkness into like I wouldn't want to do anything too dark like Dahmer or anything like that, but like Evan Peters is like one of my favorite like actors. I like
Right.
that, like scary, like
Yeah.
horror, like let me, I have this darkness, I can't get rid of it. Let me figure out how to use it in a positive way or not in a self-destructive way.
Right.
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 Of course.
Well, that's one of the top keys, and it's so interesting to hear because I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people that are going to be listening to this interview and hear how upbeat you are, and they're thinking like, there's a darkness that brings deep inside. They're like, okay, sure, buddy, but again, it's knowing the different dimensions. There's been moments where that darkness has popped its head, but you've always been able to be accounted for that, and that is also something that I wanted to give you props for, because anytime, at least it has been, I've been in the area where something did not go the right way or did not go the way it was planned, you were one of the first people the next day to be like, I made a mistake, I'm human, and I'm sorry. And I was like, cool, that's all I've ever wanted. So
I mess up on a daily basis.
Yeah, word.
I just don't mind. I'm not like my one super mistake. I know when I'm wrong, and it'll just take me like 24 hours to like be like, because more of the time is like I'm just ashamed of myself, or I'm just like beating myself up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it just takes me beating myself up and then being like, yo, my bad. Which is, to me, it's weird because I don't even know how to hold a grudge, and it's
Right.
weird. I don't know how people can, because it's like even if someone doesn't apologize, I don't like. By the time is so powerful, you know what I mean? And it's like, dude, but like in 48 hours, if you like ever did me wrong, I'm like, I forgot, you know what I mean? Or I just like, I'm like, cool, like don't. I don't even want people to that think that they did me wrong to even worry about it. I'm like, no, dude, you got a life to live. Like, just keep going, like. Unless it really, really bothered you and you reached out to me, I'm probably gonna say, don't worry about it, dude. Let's grab a beer. That's probably, like that is probably the
From the
response you'll
guy that
get
says
from me.
there's a severe darkness inside of him.
Just to keep me away from vodka.
And that's how the story starts.
The next story is called the vodka diaries.
Hey, be careful! You just said that. It's out in the universe now.
I know, right? Now I gotta do it. I gotta
Now
post
you
about
gotta
it
do
on
it.
Facebook. Next
Well,
album, vodka
this
diaries.
will air on Facebook. So
Go meta.
What were some of your favorite horror movies?
I like recently. I like the Conjuring series. The movie that scares me the most is The Exorcist. From the beginning, like I used to watch scary movies with my stepdad.
Yeah.
When I was like 7, he was showing it to me when I was 7. So it's like I think that's why that like, and my family, like my dad is a pastor, so I think that movie instilled. I'm like in my head at that point, I'm like this can happen, and I just about that movie. You know what was creepiest to me? I mean, she's creepy looking.
Yeah, of course.
But
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
the voice, the way the voice is like rings in my ear. It just makes me unsettled. And you know what? You're gonna laugh at this. The font of The Exorcist. Like every time I see that font, it's kind of spiky. Like I'm just like, I don't like it. Just I don't. Not that I don't like it, but I'm just like, it unsettles me. It's really interesting.
right.
Plus
Like when
with the
they released
music
that
too.
yeah, when they released the new one, I was like, I'm walking around LA, this movie, town, and it's like the posters for this new Exorcist, and I just kept seeing the font. I was like, leave me alone. I'm already. But that movie was awful, the new one. But
I didn't see it. Yeah.
don't even waste your time. But I like It Follows.
Okay.
I like The Conjuring. Trying to think like. I mess with Annabelle. If we're gonna go a little older, I mean Halloween. I mean,
Oh, definitely,
I have
definitely,
a little
man.
Michael
That
Myers like
that
air
to me is a great
freshener.
movie. I don't know if it's about horror movie. To me, Halloween's a great movie, like the very, very first one, because you can't really beat
And
it. The other ones don't touch it, in
I
my
didn't mind
opinion.
number two. Number two is
Number
good
two is
too.
okay. Number two is okay,
Yeah.
but like the first one
Oh
was
yeah.
like,
I mean, that's
yeah,
like some dude just walking around, you know. And I like all this.
yeah.
I like all the slashers.
Mm,
I remember when I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, I was just like, I can't sleep now. I'm like, so they're gonna get me in my sleep and when I'm awake. You know what I mean? Like I can't do anything. You know.
I'm
I'm
not
trying.
safe anywhere.
I'm trying to think. I'm missing something that I know that I'm gonna regret later.
right.
I watch. I like. I don't know. I get Here Comes the Darkness, but like
Okay.
I saw Megan's Missing the other day.
Mhm.
That's ooh.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like TFW or whatever like that thing is just like that one was I would and I don't know why I watch movies like that sometimes. You know, it's kind of the shock value,
Right.
and then like I'm wondering all day why I'm walking around all sad, and I'm like, why you watch this movie? I was like, this like movie. The Poughkeepsie tapes. That's also. I like the thing is I like being scared. That's why I like
Mm,
doing acting because it terrifies me. Like
mm,
having to learn lines and get in front of people and talk. I can do music because I have it's like I have like a shield because I have the
right.
music to shield me. When you're acting, you don't have that. And then movies as well. Like I get I need it to scare me or I'm gonna fall asleep. You know what I mean? Or I
Right.
need it to make me tense or I'll fall asleep. And I went to see Night Swim. That's the most recent one I saw, and I thought it had a really good premise, and I don't think they did a good job with it. And I
Mm,
hope they come back to it. But I like Blumhouse, a lot of the Blumhouse stuff, and like I like Hereditary. Midsummer was good.
mm.
Um, I like more like mental stuff. I mean, if we're gonna go, like I like the Dahmer series, even though that's not a movie. I thought that was
Mhm.
very well
And I
done.
like how I almost forgot this tag when I say WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, EZ BlueZ is in the building. Joata. Continue.
What are you? I want to know your movies, top three.
On mine? I'm not horror movies. I'm not really big a fan of the genre as much, but when it comes to horror movies, I gotta give it one to Halloween.
Okay,
Two, the first Saw. I think the very first Saw
that's
was
up there.
definitely up there for me when it comes like to actually I can see someone doing that. And I think the very, very third one for me that really scared me as a kid it's a mix between two. One, Puppet Master. Puppet Master definitely scared the crap out of me when I was a little kid. And I hate to say it, the first Child's Play scared the crap
I
out
thought
of
I
me.
was thinking about Chucky.
First
I was
Child,
thinking about Chucky.
yeah, first Child's Play scared the crap out of me. Now Chucky's
I mean, you start.
funny, he's more comedy, but like that first one when I was like
Oh
7 8
yeah.
years
I mean, you
old.
start looking at your toys. You're like,
Yeah,
did you
like
move?
thank God I didn't have dolls, but you know when you go into another child's like place or like a kindergarten, you see
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
dolls
yeah.
there.
I
It
mean,
almost gets
anytime I
me when
go
I was
into
little.
like, I was in Ventura, California. I went to
Mhm.
this thrift shop, and they had all like the old school dolls. And I
Yeah,
walked
Mhm.
by them, and I'm like, and I know in my head, I'm just like, I know nothing moved, and I'm like, did any of you look at me? Did any of you look at me? Like, but I'm trying to you know what I haven't seen in a long time that I saw when I was young and I keep seeing it pop up is Poltergeist. I feel like I need to give that
Mhm.
one like
Mm,
I don't think I've given it an adult try. I think I only saw it back in the day.
mhm.
And I'm trying to think. I'm missing a movie that I know I'm gonna kick myself for later.
Right,
Um, but yeah, I like horror. I just like being scared. I like thrillers.
right. That's cool.
One movie that's more of a thriller. I like The Mist. I thought that was very well done. Like
Okay.
Stephen King's The Mist and Funny Games, but the American version. That was like a movie that
Mm.
like made me yell at the TV. I don't know if you guys. It's more like it's like a home invasion movie. But I
Right.
was like, I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, you know, you're like rooting for the person.
Yep. You're like, would you just don't go in that room? Why just run?
That's what it's all
What I've been
about, you
watching,
know? That's what it's all about.
what I've been watching a lot lately is
Yeah.
like cult like all these cults like
Yeah.
documentaries.
Mhm.
Yo,
So
those
interesting.
oh my! Have you guys seen the And this is not sponsored. No, I'm just kidding. Escaping the Twin Flames.
Yep.
That's
haven't
what.
seen it.
Yeah.
If I
haven't
don't
seen it.
believe in like violence, but there's one human being in the world that deserves violence. Just watch it,
Yeah.
and then I watched the one with what was the love something? Love has won.
Okay. All
That
right.
one is one kind of like I was like I'm gonna go and get some ice cream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was just
I need to
like
feel better about myself. I
it's just
need some
like,
reassurance.
and then I like the joking side of me. I'm like, man, this human being can get all these people to follow them, and I'm struggling to get people to a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I'm still trying to break a million streams on Spotify, and this dude's got millions of people giving him dollars and all their money
for no reason, just
for
like
no reason at all. There's one guy who's like, was getting women to burn themselves, and I'd like maybe 200,000 streams. That'd be nice.
I'll take 10,000, and the $3 that comes with it.
Yeah, I don't even care about the money because I understand that at least in the streaming aspect, it's pointless. We have to look at it. It now streaming is like radio play. You're going to get pennies on the dollar, and that's just the way that it's going to go.
I mean, that's a good pivot too, because that's why we started making the pins.
Mhm.
Because I'm like, it's like I mean I like being transparent about it because everybody I feel like for so long I was like, oh, don't talk about the money, don't talk about this. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm trying to eat, and it's like, there's DistroKid. I mean, a lot of us use DistroKid, and you pay $40 a year or whatever, and it's like, there's the years that I'm like, oh, sweet, I made back the $40 I spent on DistroKid, right, in a whole
Right.
year. You know what I mean?
In a whole year.
So it's like, to me, the streaming, I'm not at that point that it's gonna change my life. I mean, I appreciate it for what it is. My music can be in France, my music can be in Australia, I could be anywhere. Cool. But for me, that doesn't. I'm not going to. That money's not going to pay for me to go to Australia. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Word.
I think like the way we were doing the pins, it's like, if you get the pin, you get the song. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to me, the pin is like a token of my appreciation. I'm like, thank you for getting the pin, because that means like you care about my music. You're gonna you're rocking the pin. You want to hear this song, and the song won't be streaming on like those platforms till after the tour. So either you got to get the pin or you got to come to a show. It's like, I do believe that you got to make the people work for it. You know what I mean? It's like, you want to hear this song, come hear it. You know what I mean? It's like it's sometimes it's like it's delivered too easy, so it loses the value. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, I can listen, and we could say that, remember back when we had CDs, like when you got a mixtape, you're like, cool, I got this mixtape, it was like a token of love almost, you know what I mean?
Right.
And now it's like you have, I mean, you can make a playlist, but there's so much music, which I'm so grateful for, but I'm trying to find that even ground of, keeping the value of the art that I create, so it's sustainable for me to keep creating more art. You know what I mean?
Right. No, definitely, and that's one of the key things, and that is the struggle of the artist everywhere and anywhere. And with music right now, the landscape has been so ever changing with streaming and the digitalization of music that you have to figure out what that next way is. And you figured out good ways to make people work for it, but not in a way that's gonna kill them. You're like, you gotta work for it. Like, come out to the show you were gonna come out to anyway. Or you gotta work for it. Get this really dope pin that I'm telling you, there's only a certain amount. So much so that the back of its label tells you how many of them there are. You know what I mean? So there's only 250 of these out there. That celebrate this incredible moment. And that's this moment of this track and the two of you guys going back and forth on the track. But it's more than that, because this is really the first artist that you're put on with coming from the East Coast to the West Coast. This is the first time you did, artist to artist, and you're doing like that joint tour type of aspect with somebody from the West Coast, So this is the new chapter.
And I like the idea of like, you get the pin. Like, in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, my number is 21. So I already took out number 21 for me. And I'm like, I like the idea of like, with the Luchadores pin, if I ever make it, hey, whoever has number 72 gets into the show in for free. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then like, So it's like a memento that like you'll always keep because it can always have not value, but it'll have some sentiment to it. It's like, hey, this is like a pin that keeps on giving. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
No, exactly. And that's awesome. Unfortunately, they are pulling the Apollo curtain upon us very quickly. But we want to give this time to you, man. It's an honor and a privilege always talking with you, talking to you. You're on tour right now. Tell people where they can get in touch with you, how they can get this awesome pin that we've been talking about, and all this fantastic stuff.
so you can go to whoisjoata.com, WHOISJOATA.com. All the shows are on there. The pins are on there. Merch is on there. You can come see me at a show. I'm going to California. We'll be in New York. We'll be in Connecticut. We'll be in Rhode Island. We'll be in Massachusetts. Sinalma and I. At Hola Joata, HOLAJOATA. And there'll be a listening party on March 13th. And the song will drop sometime in April, unless you come to a show or get the pin. Thank you guys. You guys have been wonderful as usual. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you.
It's crazy doing it with 3 hours of time difference, right?
Yeah. We make it work though. We definitely
we'll always make it work. And just in this tour, where are you going to be?
I'm doing San Diego, California, Los Angeles, California, Ventura, California. We're doing Lawrence, Massachusetts. We're doing Stafford Springs, Connecticut. We're doing Middletown, Connecticut.
Okay.
We're doing Providence, Rhode Island. We're doing New York, and we're doing one more that I can't remember right now. I'm surprised I remember that many.
You knocked it out the park, man. I look forward to seeing you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. I'm super grateful for you guys.
Definitely. On WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven, myself, Preston, and Mr. EZ Blues.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just discount? I don't know. Spending time all alone, sending my songs through the phone, dreaming of a better home, while focused on trying to hone this craft, witchcraft. I hope the brujas let this last.
I don't know if the earth is painted blue. I don't know if that's really you. I wanna go outside. I wanna go outside.
So many folks I've had to ghost. Negative ones the most. The seconds wasted. Never returned. I'm spaceship dreaming of landing home. I'm not alone.
Even though we all die, the one thing I fear is time. The seconds. I wanna go outside.